Good morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party. Rhett is out in the living room. It is Thursday, rainy Thursday. I think it's probably like 50 degrees outside. I don't have any kind of indicator. I think I'll have to launch Edge in order to get a little indicator to show up. And Edge, I feel like, well, anyways, I was gonna say I feel like Edge is normally like to the left of my Chrome, but it is not. Good morning, Marty. Let's see, I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Kennesaw, 57 degrees. So yeah, that was pretty good. Sometimes it thinks I'm in Kennesaw. Sometimes it thinks I'm in um, Marietta. Sometimes it thinks I'm in Woodstock. I'm like right at a little corner. I believe my actual neighborhood that I live in actually has three different. Gosh, this isn't good. Has three different like legal frameworks. I think part of, yeah, for some reason this isn't working. Part of it is in what's known as Marietta. Oh, here we go. Looks like we'll have a little break from the rain between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. So that'll be good. My daughter-in-law is bringing her. She's going to work a shift today and for my wife's business, and she's bringing her dogs over. So that's what's going on there. I'm trying to start the actual application just so I can go over it, but I guess while we're doing that, we could also npm run test. Okay, so I just want to run the unit test one more time. Should be 100%. This would definitely not be the first time that I closed my session and I was 100%, and then the next day I was no longer at 100%. You know, I think those are the little weird little edge cases that Karma Jasmine would like is likely why they Angular decided to dump Karma Jasmine. Now, I guess they would probably argue with that framing, and they would say, "Oh, we just decided to deprecate it," and then now by default they're loading um, what's it called, VI test or Vi test or something like that, and that is their new draw. I think Bytest definitely has a lot of issues. Like it was um, they had made some changes. They went a different direction with some things that just like to me just weren't even worth. It's not even worth it. Like the whole to me, I think they went in a direction like, hey, this is a JavaScript testing, which I respect that. I think that's a really good um, approach that it's just we're only testing JavaScript and all that. I think that's a perfectly defendable and um, good good approach. But yeah, so we still have 100%, so that's good. Um, but I don't know that it's um, what I want. You know, like I'm definitely willing to admit that it might be the right thing for Angular and other developers, but for me, it's not what I want. I want actually to test against the browser. I don't care about any other platform other than the browser. Um, so that's that. Now let's go ahead and run Cypress npm run Cypress open. And I will just say that like while I'm definitely strongly leaning towards if you work in an environment where you have plenty of time, which is not unusual. There's plenty of environments where the developers have a lot of time to do their code crafting and make sure that it's exactly the way they want it. Um, in those sorts of environments, I'm leaning towards unit tests, Karma Jasmine, unit tests being a good idea. Definitely not strongly for it. I would say that end-to-end tests, I am a strong advocate of end-to-end testing, period. Um, just the experience of being able to if you have really good, thorough end-to-end tests to be able to um, that experience of being able to just feel comfortable that okay, I haven't thought at all about keyboard access, but it looks like it's working. So that is like the um, reason that I think end-to-end testing is just like I just can't even begin to tell you the stress that it alleviates having really good, thorough end-to-end tests provides. It's just shocking. But basically, the idea was to create this data entities thing in the main, and honestly, it was almost exclusively for end-to-end. Probably would have wanted it anyways, but like end-to-end was the big. I'm gonna hit configure because this also takes a minute. Um, but the idea was that hey, I want to come over here, I want to add something, and then come over here, and then I delete it, and then I want to come back, and I want to see all of them gone. Right now, the only one that goes away is two. So now I'm going to write an end-to-end test that makes sure that at least two is being deleted. So that means when I'm working on something, let's say I'm just deep down into like one day we're going to need to be able to upload images and then add them and make it create a special material type and all that stuff. Like at that point, I'm not going to be thinking about delete anymore. And so if I do something that screws up delete when I do that, I definitely want to have this view. I wanted to not have to worry about that while I'm working on that, and end to end does in fact accomplish that. Okay, so I'm going to start end to end testing in Chrome. It kind of takes over the whole screen. There we go. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. I'm feeling so much better today. I think me and my wife were kind of sick for the last 2 weeks. It's kind of weird this year. We got sick, I want to say like in November-ish, maybe December for a couple weeks. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't fun either. And then we ended up getting sick in mid-February for a couple weeks. And again, nothing debilitating. I think I took this year I took a half a day off for sick time. Which I feel like there are other years where I would have taken 4 or 5 days off for sick time. So this has been a very good year. All right, so let's just make sure. I can't see why the home test would fail, but it is. Now at work, Cypress is slowly but surely making its way in. Although the other one, Playmaker, something Microsoft product, that one's also starting to get Playwright is starting to get some traction as well. But Cypress right now has the lead where I work. Um, the QA is definitely using it to kind of write a test, and then they can go back. He can go back and change it, and then our uh, DevOps person is now decided that he's going to start moving forward with Cypress. Basically, just because when he spins up a new system, he wants to be able to point a set of end-to-end tests that are really more for his use. The thing is you what QA needs and what DevOps needs are different. And we don't really like to acknowledge that. We like to say, oh, this is a technology and this technology takes care of this, or this is a language and this language takes care of this. So we're working through these end-to-end tests. Everything seems to be good. Um, but the reality is like end-to-end tests that a DevOps person would need is very different than end-to-end tests that a QA. QA is normally more than anything focused on like business rules and making sure that, hey, you can't do this until that's done or whatever, like that kind of thing. Whereas DevOps is really more like, hey, is this API responding? Is this thing doing this? Is this thing doing that? Like just making sure that it's a different set of things. And if it's a huge waste of time to try to fold both of those things together. And because literally, as you can see, some of these tests take a long time. Now, fortunately, we haven't broken any tests. It doesn't look like. Looks like all of our existing tests are good. Um, but I did want to enhance the delete test. Let's see, what are we at? 8:42. So I still have 13 minutes. Okay, so I feel like what I want is a whole new test for delete. And that whole new test is going to, I guess, first go to the um, delete to the entities. It's going to create one of these things. It's going to then click this button up here, and then it's going to click delete, and then it's going to go back to the entities. And probably need to actually use the back command. And I don't even know if that's a thing. Um, and then I don't know. I feel like, see, we have this add viz and reflow. Maybe we should add like a link to the entities table. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if we end up needing to. Now, this probably was a like a foundational mental shift for me because I used to be like I refused to write code specifically for the end-to-end tests or for testing. The code is for the end user. That's my main goal is the end user. But that just doesn't work. I mean that was nice. Close others. All right, so first step will be to come over here. Let's close this guy up. Let's close the coverage up. Open up Cypress. Go into this E2E and delete. What do we have now? So we have two. Now, one cool thing you can do in Visual Studio Code is you can collapse things. All right, so we have two. Um, we have two specifications. I guess that's what it's our specs. And I don't know though. This is saying this is a delete. This whole describe thing is a spec. It's a group. See, this is group. So delete group of specs. And then this is the delete. And so these are specs. So I'm just doing this more like for my memory, for the K, just to sort of communicate to my brain that I want to remember that the describe is a group of specs and that each int is a regular spec. So it deletes what do we delete? What do we even delete? It deletes the camera. Camera entity. And I'm going to call it a space-time entity when the visualization is deleted. So this is definitely not what I want in the long run, right? In the long run, what I want, so weird. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Notice all the rest of them are single quotes, so I guess I should stay in sync with that. Definitely one of those things that doesn't bother me. Like it really doesn't. Uh, but I have definitely learned that it bothers a lot of people in my industry. Um, they do not. I actually have this coworker. He cracks me up, and he literally says like he is so OCD that like somebody had figured out that the chair that he's sitting in, that he wasn't the very first person to get that chair, that it's actually way more comfortable if one of the arms is backwards. So it's just like kind of a fluke, right? And so they actually he one of the arms is backwards and he's just like I fix it and it's so much less comfortable with the arms correct. So then I'll flip it and make it backwards. But then before I leave, I have to flip it and make it back to correct again because my OCD will just drive me crazy if I don't leave it with the arm in the proper way. It's just so funny. Um, So I think there's a way. I wonder it if it will focus on that. And then let's see. And I'm just going to have it visit here to start. And I think what will happen is it will only run this one. Now the CY is this because the configuration that tells the testing only seems to be able to tell one thing. And I'm either allowed to have my Jasmine Karma work and be recognized, or I can have my Cypress. Now, I took a course once, or part of a course, and I think there's might be something I could put at the very top of this that would tell it the right library to look at. I'm not sure. All right, so I'm going to return here and delete. It says delete is wrong. It doesn't know what fit is. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask ChatGPT. In Cypress, is there a way to focus on a single spec like in Karma Jasmine? And we can change it to fit. Whew. I get to see my granddaughter today, which is going to be cool. She apparently has two brand new teeth. She didn't have any teeth. And she got two brand new teeth on the bottom. Okay, so it looks like only. I want to change to it only. Dot only. So let's see if that's actually working. Oh, it looks like it is working, and it did just go to localhost 4200. Now we want to go to entities, right? And I kind of want to, maybe I just want to go straight there. Let's see what happens if we go straight there. Let's come back over here. Here we are. Gosh, that's so nice. I wonder if we should, I guess we should also test filter and stuff like that. Routing keyboard. I guess it should be like 200 routing, 300 AR. I guess it should be like 300 entities or data tables, something like that. But and it's so hard to tell ahead of time, especially if you haven't done stuff like this before, like specifically. Okay, what to do? Okay, so I think what we want to click is this yeah, the three button, and I cannot remember exactly how to do it, but I'm assuming that I probably do it up here. App menu, that's probably this guy right here. Go. Let's see. Okay, and now we want to add a viz. I'm assuming that we probably reflow button, unchecked, add button. So funny. I wonder if I still need to do all the clicks. I know that we did, like it was a little different when we were doing an Angular material pop-up. let's see, what did it add though? I wonder if it added, oh, okay, so actually, yeah, the reason we're doing click click is to add more than one. So let's only click once and see if we get one. Maybe we have to do two to get focus and then, okay, so we only needed to add one. So now we have one. And so now we want to go to, and I think this one too, app menu, delete viz. Okay, so we're definitely going to be deleting the viz. App menu, is that that's one we're already doing, right? App menu. The one I want to do now is the add viz. Checked, reflow button, unchecked, add button. Wait, we're already doing that. We did the add viz. So then I want to go. Oh, okay, so app menu must be the other one. Nope. Oh, it's not app menu though. I don't know what it is. Let's go look in the code. Well, probably easiest to go like here and just look at this, inspect. This is toggle layout button. Okay. So as you can see, I made special um, um, data data elements for data structures, data, I can't remember what they're called, um, data attributes. Control V. Oh, got the wrong thing. Uh-oh. So it's saying that it could not find the toggle layout button. Let's see, do Control F, toggle dash layout. Is this what I should have done? Oh, yeah. Silly rabbit. Okay, so I need this. I'm just going to paste this down here for the moment. And then I need to change add button to toggle layout button. And then I need to grab all of this. X and I don't remember if I had the quotes or not in my clipboard. Nope. Okay. Let's try that. There we go. All right, so I'm out of time. It's 8:57, so I have to start working 3 minutes. But tomorrow we'll hit the delete, then we'll go back, and then I would imagine there's a cy dot back, and then that will click the back button, and then theoretically, I wonder what happens if I hit. Can I hit the back button? Yeah, I don't think I can get to this. But anyways, we'll hit the back button. We'll go back. Hopefully, hopefully that works, and then we'll check to make sure that it wasn't there. First, I guess we need to make sure it is there, and then see. Can I hit back on here? Back. Alt left arrow. Yeah, okay. So we'll do that, and then see how we have this now. And then when we come here, and we hit delete, and then out left back. Or was it alt left? Yeah, that's on the keyboard. The Alt and the little backwards arrow took me back, and as you see, now number 2 is gone. And that's really what we want to test for. Um, Probably test that it's there before and then it's not there afterwards. Um, so that'll be good, probably. I don't think that's that big of a thing. If I don't test before and after, it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, the main thing is just to lock in the technology. Anyways, happy coding, everybody.